Welcome back to Miles Team Show. We are your medical, insurance, legal expert solutions. Thank you for joining us every Tuesday at noon to hear the latest on subjects in the areas of medical, insurance, and legal. In addition, we bring you other segments on nutrition, health, and wellness. Our food segment every week brings you a new recipe for you and your family to enjoy. I am your host, Christy Branham. We can be found on MNOTV.com, Facebook at My Miles Team, and our Miles Team TV YouTube channel. The show can be accessed live on Tuesdays at noon or on demand at your leisure. Today we have with us Kalie Hawely with Valley Investment Planning. Thank you for joining us, Kalie.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about life insurance. So obviously insurance is one of the subject matters that we bring to you guys every so often. And today we're going to discuss the matter of life insurance. When we should get life insurance, how much maybe we should have. I know that's a common question. Of course, there's no specific answer to everyone, but maybe we can get some ideas and tips from Kalie today as to maybe some ideas we should think about in purchasing life insurance and what the goals and objectives are in that. So, Kalie, if we can talk a little bit about life insurance in general, maybe we can talk about what types of life insurance are there?
Sure. I won't go into too much detail because there's so many types of life insurance, but I'll touch on the two main ones, which are temporary insurance, also known as term insurance, and permanent insurance, which includes your whole life, universal life, guaranteed life. Term insurance is basically what it says. You're covered for a certain period of time, and then after that time, it expires, it goes away.
Okay.
This would be perfect for a young family or a couple that just got married, they just bought their house, and they need a low-cost insurance plan to cover the mortgage payments if one of the spouses passes away. So the things to remember with term insurance, low cost, and it's income replacement. It'll replace a spouse's income if needed for the family.
That's very important, especially in those young years of life.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
Where our income is so vital because we have so many years left to work. When you get a little bit older, not that the income's not important, but you do have less years to really have to account for because you do hit that retirement age at some point in time. So when you're younger, you do have a lot more years to cover the income for, and a lot more debt,
less
kids
savings
to raise,
right.
savings, less savings. That's true.
Exactly.
So those are important ways of explaining it. So permanent versus temporary. What are some of the features? I mean, I know you just mentioned with term that being that it's lower cost, good for younger families and that sort of thing in a specified term. What are some of the primary features you think as a consumer, if we're out there looking to purchase life insurance, what are some of the features you think we should focus on being important or inquire about, and where are the questions we should ask? In that?
Right. Well, yeah, explain term already. For a young couple, the features, it's basic. It's covers you for a certain period of time, expires. One thing about term, it may have a convertibility feature on it. So if your term expires, say you have a 20-year policy, at the end of that term, you may be able to renew it for a permanent policy that'll cover you the rest of your life. So
very good for people who maybe have health issues maybe during that 20 years and maybe getting other insurance might be a little harder.
Right, because they're going to use the same underwriting credit when you first got the term insurance. They're going to use that status. They're not going to redo underwriting at your current health. So if you are diagnosed with a terminal illness or diabetes or something that would affect your rating, you don't have to worry about that.
You can use the convertibility.
Right.
Awesome. So maybe that's an important feature to think about when you're purchasing term, is if that's something you want to consider having.
Right. So that's term. And then permanent insurance is more of lifelong coverage with the ability to accumulate cash value at a tax deferred rate.
Okay.
And what this means is basically if you're on time and you pay your premiums, you are covered for your entire life. And the cash value, that's a huge benefit. There's so many different ways you can use that. the cash value.
So what are some of those ways? If you know, I know people ask about that. Oh, is this policy gonna build some cash value? Is it going to build? And when they do build, what can you use that cash value for?
So there's a couple different things you can do. You can use the cash value to pay your premiums. So you have to pay annual premiums every year to keep the policy active. But say you don't want to pay that year and you have this cash value built up, you can use that and put it towards your premium.
Oh, okay.
Another way people can use the cash value is to withdraw the cash value. They want to use it. So you can do that. You just have to be careful though, because if you can take out tax-free the basis, what you put into it, but the growth is taxed.
Okay.
So only take out the amount that you put in. So what some people do is they'll take out up to the basis, what they put into it, and then they'll take, another option is to take a loan against
the remaining,
cash balance. Yeah, because the loan, it's tax-free. You are charged interest. Legally, insurance companies have to charge interest on the loan that you take from your policy, but you're paying yourself back instead of a bank or institution. Yeah, and sometimes the insurance companies set up this shadow account where they credit you interest that's equal to the amount they're charging on the loan or more. So it's kind of a wash in a way.
Right.
So that's how some people take advantage of that.
So it's probably a good idea to, if you're looking into life insurance, to go ahead and try to take that step to getting permanent insurance where you can start building that cash value. Of course, it's going to cost a little more, I imagine, than the temporary policy. It is more than term,
right.
But at a younger age even. And it's interesting because when we're younger, we don't always think about these kinds of decisions, but they can be very important to purchasing when you're younger. Then you can build up the cash value. You have a longer period of time to build it up, and the policy is less expensive when you're younger, and you're usually healthier.
Exactly. So, yes, that's
so
a great point.
It's a great kind of investment. I don't think we always think about life insurance can be an investment.
Right, and it's great for people that are very risk adverse. They don't like the market up and down.
Very good point.
So that's another option that they have.
It's very, very low risk. Absolutely.
Right.
Very interesting.
Another thing I want to say about permanent insurance is a lot of the new policies now have a long-term care feature on them.
I have heard about that.
Yes. And this is huge because 91, these studies come out, they say 91% of couples will need some form of long-term care, whether it's one spouse or both. And 90% of individuals 65 years and older haven't planned for this at all, and that's a huge gap.
Yes.
So there's these new policies out there where you can use the death benefit towards long-term care that'll cover you for your life, rather than self-insuring and using all your retirement assets.
Right, all your assets to pay for long-term care. And you know, there's so many aspects to long-term care. I know some people don't like that subject. You know, they don't want to think about what happens in those years when you need care, but there's so many options, and I think those policies can cover that. As you can have in-home care, you can have skilled care and things like that.
Right. A lot of the care they say is at home, so then that covers it.
But it still has to be paid for. So that's a great option to have that built into that plan.
Yeah. And what's nice is if you don't use it, you won't lose it. It goes to your beneficiaries. The old policies, you would pay all this money into it, and if you didn't use it, it's
then you
gone.
just lost it.
Yeah, but now
it just goes back into the face value of the life policy.
Yeah, and into your beneficiaries, whatever's left over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, that brings up another good point. It's helpful to have that long-term care attached to a life policy for those that are single. I mean, in this society, we still have lots of people who, especially if one spouse passes away, or you end up single throughout most of your life, and then you do need long-term care, or you need care, you may not have any other option. So
who's going to take care of you?
Who is going to take care of you? So that'd be a great option to have on your life policy. What are some of the reasons that people choose one type of policy over another? I mean, obviously, the temporary plan is a little cheaper than the more permanent insurance. So obviously, when you're younger, you've got a lot of other things going on in life, children, that sort of thing. That would be one reason. What is another reason that people choose one versus the other?
Yeah, so mostly cost or the cash value accumulation. They like that part. They can use it for to supplement their retirement income possibly. So
Didn't think about that. So you could, that's another option, I guess, with the cash value is supplementing your retirement income.
Right.
Because you can just withdraw it.
Right.
Absolutely. Cool.
Yeah.
Very good points. Well, Kalie, we're getting ready to go to a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about a few more features of life insurance and some of the suggestions you have for us in looking for life insurance, and some of the questions we should be asking our agents when we're looking into life insurance and making sure we understand everything and we're educated in that area. So we'll be coming right back and talk a little bit more about life insurance. So come back with us. We'll talk to Kalie, and then we've got our food segment coming up with a new recipe this week.
81% of consumers search online before even setting foot in a store. We help you create a strong foundation for your digital reputation. We help build your online presence to improve search engine rank and make sure your business information is correct across the web. You could do all of this on your own, but why would you spend more than 300 hours a year working on this? You have a business to run. Save time and put our software to work for you.
Hi, and we are back with Kalie Hawely discussing life insurance today. So we're back to discuss another portion of the questions that we need to discuss in looking at life insurance, and that's our health and how it factors into us obtaining life insurance. So Kalie, that's one of the questions I'm sure you get sometimes is how will someone's health issues affect them in purchasing life insurance?
Well, if you're healthy and you're a non-smoker, obviously you're going to get the preferred rating. That's the best rating. Your premiums are going to be lower. If you are not as healthy, then a standard policy might be good for you, which will cost a little more.
But still obtainable.
Right, exactly. I mean, worst case, you'll be uninsurable, but you'd be surprised what you can get approved for. Every company's different, and if you do have concerns, that's why it's so important to talk to your advisor, because they can help you out and talk to the companies and do a little pre-underwriting and find out more information beforehand before you submit the application and go through the medical process, because they do look at your medical record, they look at your driving record. So that's why the younger you are, the easier it is, because usually you're healthier.
But even small health issues doesn't make it very hard to obtain life insurance, correct? We're really talking about when we get into, the bigger issues, chronic issues with your heart and things like that, diabetes and such. But like you said, we would be surprised what can still be obtained just having that conversation with your agent and advisors and discussing all those conditions, discussing everything, putting everything out on the table. Like we like to say around here, you have to be honest with your insurance agents and your doctors and your attorneys. Yes, you got to be honest and
they
don't
will find out.
Absolutely, because they're going to do the checks. But having those conversations with the agents and advisors, then you guys can direct a little bit better and educate your clients on the direction they should go, I imagine.
Right, exactly.
Yes, good. Okay, well, that is good to know, and we appreciate you bringing us all this information today. I want to ask you a little bit more about your company. So if you'll tell us a little bit more about yourself and your company and where you're located, how long you've been in the business, and that kind of thing.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a family company. We've been around almost 20 years. My grandpa started it, and since then my mom's came on board, my brother's on board, and myself. So I'm located in Odessa. I manage the Florida branch office, and then my mom and brother manage the New York office in upstate New York in the Hudson Valley area. That's where our name comes from, Hudson Valley Investment Planning. Yeah. So it's fun. My mom's my boss.
So Valley Investment Planning in Odessa.
Right.
Absolutely. So you'll, of course, be able to access her information on our directory at www.mymilesteam.com, where you will find most of our insurance professionals and attorneys and medical professionals on our directory. So if you have questions in those areas, please look up our professionals on that directory, and they'll be happy to help you and go over your concerns and all. So thank you so much, Kalie, for being with us today. We've enjoyed discussing life insurance with you. We're going to take a break and come right back with our food segment. So we've got a great food item today, new recipe. We like to bring a new one every week with our health coach, Christine. So if you'll stay with us, we're going to introduce our new food recipe for the week. So thank you, and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to our food segment. Today we have Christine Mc Nally, or also known as Health Coach Christine, with our recipe for the week. We are having chia pudding. So Christine, if you'll tell us a little bit about the chia pudding and how we make this and all its benefits.
Sure. Actually, we're doing the chia pudding because it's super simple, super easy, and just another alternative like an overnight oat, okay? But this is easy, so here what we'll do. Half a cup of a non-dairy. I use unsweetened almond milk. And it gets even easier than this. Check this out. All right, so pop up the chia seeds. Super healthy, high in protein,
Great.
okay? And they're actually going to swell and absorb the almond milk here.
Oh.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 2 tablespoons in here, okay?
Awesome.
Did I mention these are high in protein too?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good.
Yes, good for you.
Good, good, good. So this is the fun part. Pop this on, and you just shake it. And I just shake
Can't get
it.
much easier than this.
So what I do is usually when I'm in the kitchen, I'll shake it for like a minute. I'll put it down, walk away, do something. I'll come back like in a couple minutes, and I'll just shake it again, okay?
Okay.
So just shake it for a few minutes, and then what I do is I go ahead and I pour it in my glass because you're gonna want it to sit in the refrigerator overnight for about 8 hours, okay? So in the morning, you have your chia pudding. So it's
It's a great
absorbed.
breakfast.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And it'll help you feel full and keep you going all day long. So
Awesome.
make it more fun, right? So here we go. Oh, there we go. All right, put some blueberries.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Also, we'll throw those in there. And
So it's a great antioxidant adding to
yes. And I remember last week you said you
Superfood.
loved blueberries.
I do love blueberries.
So I
Thank
said
you.
raspberries or blueberries, and I said, no, Christy loves blueberries.
Well, thank you. Very nice.
So, all right. So we got these on here, right? And then, why not some almonds?
Little almonds,
right?
a little more
slivered-
protein.
Absolutely. And it's got a little crunch too. So who doesn't like a little crunch? And
The
actually,
crunch is good.
I'm not even going to measure it. I'm going to live dangerously. So, all right. So we'll put a couple there and a couple there.
And then you have yourself a nice breakfast,
And there's breakfast.
snack, lunch. Great.
You could have more fruit on the side. You can have maybe a half of a banana, just not too much. You don't want to
A
have
little
too much sugar. Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Christine. It looks gorgeous.
Did you want to?
Sure. You want to try? Absolutely. Very interesting. It's very good. And I love the
Good, good?
blueberries. Very good. Very good. And it is very light.
Yeah.
So it's a great healthy meal.
But it's nice and thick like a pudding.
It is.
It's
It is
creamy,
just
right?
like a pudding. Very
So-
creamy, very mild tasting.
Good.
Not harsh. The seeds are just very smooth, but a much smoother. The only real crunch I got was the berry and the almond. It was very nice. Yeah, very nice.
Yep. And very healthy. Pretty much
Very healthy.
just under 200 calories, I'd say.
Oh,
Very
that's
healthy.
great. It makes
Yeah.
me feel much better about eating something that tastes really good. So, well, thank you very much for bringing that to us today. Like every week, you will find the recipe on our Facebook page. So look there for the recipe and enjoy this with your family. So thank you guys so much for joining us again today at Miles Team Show. We look forward to sharing with you every week on the subjects of medical, insurance, and legal, as well as we'll bring you segments on health, wellness, and nutrition. So please join us every Tuesday at noon or on demand at your leisure at mnotv.com, our Facebook page at Miles Team, or our YouTube channel, Miles Team TV. You can find a listing of our experts online at our directory at www.mymilesteam.com. Again, I'm your host, Christy Branham. See you next week, and remember, Miles Team, going the distance to bring the experts to you.